this regular meeting of Littleton City Council to order on September 3rd, 2024. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Schlachter.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Barr.
Here.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Here.
Councilmember Reichart.
Here.
Councilmember Grove.
Here.
Councilmember Peters.
Here.
Councilmember Ryden. We have a quorum.
That was a weird order, huh? Is that what you're saying? Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, next up on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Council's, everyone had a chance to review it? Any changes? Seeing no changes, it's approved without objection. Item 4 on the agenda is proclamations. Today we have no proclamations. Item 5 on the agenda is a public comment period. So public comment period is a portion of our meeting where we allow members of the community to come speak before council and staff on issues and concerns that they may have that are not part of public hearings. We don't have any tonight. We expect comments to be civil, disrespectful, disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. When you hit your 3-minute mark, I will let you know. We are, as council, are not eligible to take action on any issue raised during public comment tonight that is not part of today's meeting. I may refer matters to the deputy city manager or city attorney for immediate response or to staff to get comment back after. I'll go through the list of people who signed up here and give an opportunity for those that did not sign up ahead of time. So first up, we have Larry Borger. And if you could please state your name and address for the record when you hit the podium. Thanks.
My name is Larry Borger, 6188 South Atlantic Court in Littleton, 80120. I am a resident of Aberdeen Village, and I want to talk briefly about Aberdeen and about Kettering Lake. First regards to Aberdeen, we've lived there 53 years. I'm truly excited that the city repaved all the streets in Aberdeen Village. I'm aware that you hear people come and complain about all manner of things. I just wanted to officially come and say thank you. We appreciate that. As I say, we've lived there 53 years. That's the nicest thing my city ever did for me. With regard to Kettering Lake, we hope that you will not be shrinking the lake and worrying about that until you have all the options studied. And specifically, I would like to suggest a closer working relationship with the Denver Board of Water Commissioners, and would point out that you need a well to furnish water to Kettering, but it's more than Kettering Lake. You have land to the north, which is maintained by the South Suburban Park District, land across Gallup to the west that's also maintained by the Park District. You have the library. Altogether, it's like 50 acres. And I heard a staff member this summer when they were talking about that, and the question came up about what about the land to the north, which we call Charlotte Acres. He said, that's not our problem, that's South Suburban's problem. The point is, it's all Denver water, and we're all taxpayers of those districts. And somehow we should be incorporating all that demand in an irrigation water study. And my one proposal would be, before you take any further action, put money in the budget for next year to hire a consulting engineering firm to tell you where factually there's water down there. And if there is, consider drilling a well. If there's not water down there, go to option B. I would be glad to answer questions if you have questions about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. And as a former Littleton employee, I hope the city did more for you than just pave your roads. But and we did hear a few complaints about them in the past too, so we do appreciate you.
I'm sorry.
I said, as a former city employee, I hope the city did more for you than just pave your roads. All right, I retract my
That was the
comment
most
then.
significant thing.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Karen Talentire.
Karen Talentire, 5356 South Crocker. From the recent Littleton City intergovernmental agreement with Arapahoe County, it says, whereas the county and the jurisdiction have a history of successful general elections. The city of Littleton knows the 2022 general election was not successful. The City Council was presented information in April 2024 from an open source audit by Colorado citizens. The audit used the state's own data examining voter and ballot lists from 2022. The audit found multiple types of major violations. For instance, according to the Help America Vote Act of 2002, the voting system can allow no more than 1 in 125,000 ballots in error, which would have been 21 for the entire state of Colorado. The audit found more than 21. In fact, there were over 100,000 such errors. Unless Arapahoe County has shown the city of Littleton that all the excess errors were in the other 63 counties, the county's most recent general election was a spectacular failure and legally invalid. That makes the basis for the IGA also invalid. The Colorado Election Code in CRS 111031 requires ineligible electors be kept from voting in order to prevent fraud and corruption in elections. So, Arapahoe County violated Colorado Election Code by permitting over 100,000 ineligible or uncertain registrants to vote in the 2022 election. The county is responsible, according to the terms of the agreement in Colorado Constitution XXIX Section 1C, to avoid conduct that creates a justifiable impression in the public that public trust is being violated. The audit information presented to the city of Littleton was also presented to Arapahoe County. The county's failure to respond certainly creates a justifiable impression in the public that public trust is being violated. The IGA says failure to comply with the terms of this agreement or the code may result in consequences up to and including termination of this agreement. Littleton must terminate the agreement and refuse to be part of these ongoing election code violations. These are, of course, not the only code compliance failures, but even one failure is grounds for termination of the agreement. I realize this is an inconvenient time to terminate the IGA, but the city should not have to pay the $1.6 million when Arapahoe County is in violation of the agreement. In fact, we should demand payment from Arapahoe County for failure to conduct the 2022 election according to statute. And I have an update. Just as I was on the way here, I found out a lawsuit against Colorado based on that citizen audit was just filed. I think it was actually today. So that's going on.
Thank you. Next up is Tom Elliott.
I'm Tom Elliott, 5997 South Lakeview Street in Littleton, 80120. I'm here to suggest plans for the future of Gallup Lake be carefully and fully explored with accurate costs and timeframes. I don't know if you've visited the lake lately, but it's looking pretty sad. I'm not sure the Littleton taxpayers should have invested $1.5 million in the lake, the $500,000 in the wetlands, and the $1 million in the well, but we already did. Inflation adjusted, this would be well over $5 million in today's dollars. The reality is the taxpayers invested in this jewel in good faith. Now it is only appropriate to do our best to maintain this facility to optimize and get a return on this investment. The result was a unique jewel that is enjoyed and visited by families, bikers, walkers, and fishermen. It is an attraction Littleton can be justly proud of. The result, given the many benefits the lake provides, it does not seem prudent at this point to abandon these investments. Careful, complete, and accurate information needs to be gathered and to understand what the options are to maintain the lake and the wetlands as they currently exist. One option is to renovate the old Littleton water supply well. This well is located some 775 feet from the lake. Based on the investigation I have done, it does not appear to be all that expensive to bring that well back online. The well water could be used for the lake, to water Kettering Park, Gallup Park, the Littleton Museum animals, and farm irrigation. This would reduce the dollars that is presently going to Denver Water for keeping these green and for maintaining the animals at the museum. Another inexpensive option would be to drill several shallow wells to obtain water that Littleton already has exclusive rights to. It will only take about 80 gallons a minute to maintain the lake. I suspect there are other options worth looking into. I don't believe all the options have been carefully explored and priced. I look forward to understanding the options, the costs, and how you intend to proceed. I am here to suggest that Littleton taxpayers deserve a careful, accurate review of the options and costs to maintain this important asset for the current and future residents of Littleton. Given the reality of the significant investments made, the high-quality result when it is fully functional, and the heavy use and enjoyment of this facility, this project warrants your careful and thorough consideration. If you have visited the lake lately, you will agree the issue requires your immediate attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next up is Greg Sullivan.
Greg Sullivan, 7775 South Hill Drive in Littleton. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I was here on October the 6th to talk to you about the Costco development and the swale, protecting the swale and the trees on 700 West Mineral. I sent you a package, which I think, thanks to Colleen, I think got
The
distributed
clerk did
to
forward
you.
it on to us, yep.
Okay. So basically, I'm limited on time, but since I visited with you before, I've done some research and homework. The site at Quincy and Costco at Quincy and, Costco at Quincy Drive is supposed to be the template for the new Costco, according to what I understand. And that is approximately looking at 12.43 acres after I did the geo mapping and walked the property. So that is, that's the use of that. And so I just hypothetically took that footprint and put it on top of the planned development for the Costco and Mineral. And so the Costco at Quincy has 12.43, the Costco at Mineral is estimated 16.6. And I go through the calculations, I've given them to you, but they're 4.17 acres of unused space in the Costco at Mineral that hasn't been dedicated based upon the Costco at Quincy, just mapping. But what is included is in the setup is that the swale and the trees are in the existing map that I put down for you in your packet. So given the truck parking, given the building, given the general parking, given the Costco gasoline station, there's still 4.17 acres that are not being used. So, 2.71 acres after including all those. So what I'm getting at is that what I'd like to see is that there be more research done on the site. If the Costco is going to be, at Quincy is going to be used as a map, then there's adequate space unused yet in the template that the swale and the trees can be included. We need a buffer between Mineral and the Costco because I estimate there's going to be at least 500,000 new cars traveling along that street. And if you look at the photographs in the back, you'll see what Costco's done. They have a buffer, and they've maintained it between I-95 and their offices. I think they can do the same thing here.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
Last person to sign up on the list is Pam Chadbourne.
Good evening, Council. My name is Pam Chadbourne. I have a block and a half from here. So first of all, I want to say I agree with Mr. Borger. He's right, and he's asking for more data. We can get more data about the capacity of the well, and that should be done. Notice that the next two speakers about water also asked for more data and actually said, and it's not that hard to get. There is plenty of consultants out there who would do this work. It is frustrating to me and really a problem that our staff didn't get data and options and present it to us, the people, and to you, the council, but to us, the people, because we are the users of these places. Some of you may live near them, but you need us to tell you what we think should be done. We need that data and we need the options, and they haven't been presented. So the one other speaker about elections, I'm going to say, I don't think their audit was audited. I know Arapahoe County was, and I know their process is very examined and public and open. And so, well, information was given to you, I'm not sure I believe that data, and so I'm not sure it's a basis for action yet. You know, having agreed with the speakers about water, I want to talk about the city website. I'll start with, it should provide the public with access to our business. This is our business, council. It's not just yours, it's ours. And so minutes should provide the speaker's ask or position. And what we just heard, those positions and asks should be on the minutes, not just the topic. And that's out of respect for the speakers, council, which you should be the first people to advocate for and insist on. I'm going to say that the city protocols protected this, and we did this kind of thing 12 years ago. It has degraded and been lost, and that's not a good thing for the city. On the website, for boards and commissions, document packets need to be posted. And for the first item, I'm going to say the work is already done. The work is done for the boards and commissions. It is not extra work, except going to IT and posting the same packet for the public. It's not a good place to go to say, why wouldn't this be done? Why was it taken away? We used to have it. It was taken away. Council, you're the advocates and representatives of the people. Please get this data back. The budget package should be posted for this Saturday. The people are paying. They're literally the source of this budget, whether it's retail taxes or property taxes. That data should be here. I have more to say another time. Thanks.
Thank you, Pam. Is there anybody else in the room that wished to speak? Frank?
Good evening, City Council. Frank Atwood, living in the 4th Littleton District. I've got a flyer for a book entitled Honeybee Democracy that I'm confident can be passed around to City Council. I don't have copies for you three. No worries. Book looks like this, and the relevant phrases in the flyer is a process that includes collective fact-finding, vigorous debate, and consensus building. Any decision-making group should consist of individuals with shared interests and mutual respect. A leader's influence should be minimized, debate should be relied upon, diverse solutions should be sought, and majority should be counted on for a dependable resolution. The author, Thomas Seeley, goes into details of how honeybees accomplish that. As a, I don't know how well the rest of you were educated by your parents with regards to the birds and the bees, so I'll toss out two questions for you with regards to birds and the bees. One?
Frank, children may be watching, just FYI.
Oh, I know. And this is why it's educational for both you and them. The first question is the queen bee monogamous? I look forward to each of you researching that, or at least discussing it among yourselves. The second question is the queen bee in any way involved with the decision-making process of finding the new hive? A birds and the bees discussion that I'm confident your parents introduced you to. A change of topics. As you know, last meeting, you passed a issue to be on the ballot to increase the tax placed on marijuana. Thanks to being in both Colorado and Littleton, it's possible to submit a comment on that, which the deadline for people is the 23rd of September, noon. I will be submitting a comment. If anyone would like to join me, I look forward to hearing from them. My phone number is 720-260-1493, and look forward to hearing from them. Thank you, City Council.
Thank you, Frank. Is there anybody else in the audience that wishes to speak? Yes, sir. You can state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Blake Huber. I live in Denver, 655 South Clinton Street. I want to tell you a little bit about this guy that just spoke. I wasn't going to get up and speak and say anything. I met this guy 10 to 12 years ago, and he was pitching this concept called approval voting. And I said, Frank, you're nuts. Now, we just had an election that went to the Supreme Court. We've had elections where spoilers ruined the race from some people's point of view. You're nuts. We need electoral reform, but not approval voting. This is a waste of time. So he, knowing Frank, and you all know him, he suggested I read a book called Gaming the Vote by William Poundstone. So now I'm challenged. So I downloaded the book on my Kindle. It was a page turner for me because I'm math oriented. I read that book in 3 days, and I called Frank up and I said, I've drank the Kool-Aid, Frank. How can I help? So applause to Mr. Atwood. He's a wonderful gentleman. I hope what you do in the future towards approval voting is a good thing. And I would happily answer any questions about approval voting and refer any voters to our website, approvalvotingparty.com, or our phone number, 720-439-6000. Does anybody have any concerns or questions about approval voting? Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience that wish to speak tonight? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Move on to council member comments and reports. I'll start with Councilmember Driscoll.
No report.
Councilmember Ryden.
No report.
Councilmember Peters.
I have a few things. I was able to attend the Town Hall Arts Ovation Gala and on August 24th on Main Street. It's their largest fundraising event. And whether you've been to that little theater or not, they contribute so much and have every time stories that bring tears to my eyes of how people rally around the arts and, you know, kids or other people stepping up last minute to step in if someone got sick and had to leave. And so I would encourage you to attend that in the future if you're able, or to at least go to a play there. I also was able to go on Wednesday to the Dr. Cog Metrovision Awards, and our local East Community Center won an award for excellence, innovation, collaboration, and leadership in problem solving. That's what all the awards are kind of towards. So what we've done there at that community center was recognized. The third thing I was going to say is the Littleton Community Retreat, which is next week, September 13th and 14th. The topic is sustainability. I think the registration is $25 or $. There's a lot of fun events that are included with that. So you can look at littletoncommunityretreat.org if you want to sign up for that. And then the final thing I was going to say is Councilmember Reichart and I have a community meeting at Bemis Library on September 21st at 10 a.m. I would love emails if there's something specific you have questions about so I could do some research and be prepared. But otherwise, we look forward to open dialogue around whatever troubles you or maybe that you're happy about.
Careful leaving it that open-ended there. Councilmember Reichart.
Thank you. I have a couple of things. I want to say thank you to staff who held a Land Use Code 101 class for Councilmember Peters and I. That was really informative, and I really appreciate the time and energy people put into bringing me closer to being up to speed on some of the important work that I need to do on the council. I also just want to repeat something I think I said last time. I'm really impressed with us as a group. I think we did a really good job in the process of hiring the judge, and I think we showed, everyone worked hard, took it seriously.
Haven't done it yet. We still have to vote.
That's right. It's on today's agenda. But I just, I have been critical of this council in the past, and I feel like I had the fortune of being on a board that was very functional and did a really good job. And we did a great job with that work and that duty, and I was really impressed with our work and our ability to quickly make a good decision. And I just think it's rare that people say the council does a good job, and I think the council did a good job. So good job, everybody. And and I want to just say thanks to the Transportation Committee. I had a meeting with them earlier in the week, or earlier in the month, and that was I really enjoy the work on the Transportation Board. So, and then I'm done.
Thanks, Councilmember Grove.
A couple quick things. I also was able to attend the town hall fundraiser, like many of us on council, and it was a wonderful event, and don't know exactly how much they raised, but they had a silent auction and a live auction, and if the live auction was any indication, I think they did pretty well. So it was a lovely event. They closed Main Street, lights, food, and everything, and it was great to be able to attend that. Another thing I attended was the ARC Open House. ARC has opened their second facility here in Littleton at Broadway and Mineral. It's really nice. So if you live closer to the southern part of the city, you might want to check that out. There's also a location on Littleton Boulevard. So there was quite the crowd there. Many of us from council were there. The chamber and the CEO of ARC was there to say something to the group. So it was quite well attended. And that's it.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, just a couple quick things. Also attended the Town Hall Arts Gala, the Metro Vision Award for East Community Center. Congratulations again to Jose and the team over there at East. It's an impressive thing to win that award. We also, a number of us attended the South Suburban Parks and Recreation District meeting. The joint annual meeting, just so the public is aware, is basically just kind of a review of both capital and operational budgets and projects and planning and priorities for the coming year, as our city and staff also continue to negotiate joint operating agreements with them as well. So for the record, there were no decisions made or actions taken during said meeting, but it was a chance for both of our boards to get together and just kind of share perspectives, interests, things that are up and coming in the world of parks and recreation, like Frisbee golf, and there I said it. The South Platte Renew also held a joint annual budget and operations meeting between ourselves and the city of Inglewood. Again, just want to congratulate the team on nearing completion, almost completed their new operations center, an immense capital project for the plant, but obviously one that's going to be carrying them far into the future. So congratulations to their team on that. Then real quick, the Environmental Stewardship Board met this last month and also spoke with South Suburban Parks and Recreation District and their Chief Operating Officer regarding some environmental stewardship goals for South Suburban. So the Environmental Stewardship Board had a chance to kind of learn a little bit more about kind of the operational nuances and what kinds of sustainability and stewardship efforts that they are making internal to their program and where the city and South Suburban can collaborate. And this coming Wednesday is the second part of Dr. Cog's regional housing study. So our work planning session tomorrow at 4 o'clock, the consulting team and Dr. Cog staff are going to review the second portion of, I think, what is going to be continuing on a little bit longer for a regional housing study. The Dr. Cog board and myself advocated for this study to be taken prior to the last legislative session, where many housing bills were being brought up, to have a more informed regional policy, and looking forward to seeing the second portion of that with some recommendations coming up, and I'll report out on that at the next meeting. And that's all I got.
Great, thanks. Yeah, there was just a few things going on these past few weeks here. Let's see, most of you hit everything. Speaking of the Littleton Community Retreat, I'll be speaking at that. Apparently, their number one person was not unable to be there, so they asked me to fill in. Also, with ARC ribbon cutting, it was great to be there. I was spotted in the wild on Saturday. I went back. It was funny. Staff thought I was just, making things up when I said I'll be back on Saturday for the half price day. But I was there, and they were kind of surprised to see me there. And then on this Friday, I'll be attending a press conference, the Keep Transit Moving press conference with RTD, with their ballot question that'll be on the ballot this year, their Tabor limit question. And so I know Metro Mayor's Caucus has supported that, and there are various other cities that are doing resolutions to support that. So I've talked to the city manager, and we'll bring that back, but I'll be there as representing Metro Mayors, and that's all I have. So, Deputy City Manager, anything?
Thanks, Mayor, members of the council. You won't ask me back after all of these comments I have. So first, just a couple of comments in response to some of the public comments we heard tonight. One is we are very excited about the budget retreat this Saturday, and the budget materials will be posted online tomorrow. Another is on the development that's planned at Mineral. Improvements are required along West Mineral that will include improved bike amenities. Bike facilities are required to connect the commercial development with the residential area. The stormwater that currently goes through this well will be undergrounded to allow for additional bike improvements on that property. So really, mobility is being prioritized along with responsible stormwater management. The gas station itself will be back from Mineral, and there will be landscaping between the gas station and the right-of-way, adding that buffer that's sorely needed in commercial developments. And then at the regular meeting, on your next regular meeting coming up in 2 weeks, on September 17th, the City Council will receive a presentation on and discuss recently conducted school zone safety evaluations. This initiative is closely tied to the broader Safer Streets Littleton initiative, which focuses on improving overall road safety and walkability within the city. Safer Streets Littleton encompasses a comprehensive approach to making streets safer for all users, incorporating elements like pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, crosswalk improvements, and traffic speed management. The school zone safety evaluation complements these efforts by addressing the transportation network in the immediate vicinity of Littleton schools and the specific needs of school-aged children and ensuring their safety as they navigate the city streets. By aligning with national best practices, these recommended changes seek to establish consistent, safe environments across school zones within the city. One recent change to a flasher location within a school zone was directly connected to this school zone evaluation project. The resulting community discussion and uncertainty about this change effectively emphasizes the importance of proactive and consistent communication from city staff to the community prior to rolling out these changes. The September 17th meeting will support sharing information, building understanding, and kickstarting additional changes planned to enhance the safety of students traveling to and from school. And then last comment, wanted to provide a brief update on the progress of our team is making to introduce more housing types in the Unified Land Use Code. We have a survey currently open. They'll be open until next Monday, September 9th. It's available on the city's social media, Littleton Report Online, and was recently shared out via several newsletters, including Vibrant Littletons. The majority of the survey responses received so far have been supportive of the topic, with most people wanting to see more housing diversity. The stakeholder group meeting was held in person Monday, August 26th at City Center. The meeting was a success, and staff received some insightful feedback. Staff is working on background research to inform red lines, including researching relevant code regulations of our surrounding municipalities, as well as ongoing GIS analysis. We encourage other members of the community here and those watching at home to share their feedback by participating in the survey. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney?
No report, thank you, Mayor.
All right, let me get back to the agenda here. All right, next up, we have scheduled appearances. We have one scheduled presentation tonight. We have Catherine Roy with Love, Inc. of Littleton, which was a 2024 local partnership funding grant recipient. So,
yes, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Greetings and thank you to City Council members and City staff and guests. I'm Catherine Roy, Executive Director at Love, Inc. And I'm here to express gratitude and to tell you a little bit about what you're doing when you have funded some of the programs of Love Inc., in fact, since 2015, and then even some of the neighborhood grants more recently we've taken advantage of to be able to celebrate our volunteers and activities for the community. So thank you. I want to share with you a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and you can see from the map here, we're not alone. We may be alone in the Denver metro area, but across the country, there are about 115 Love Incs in 29 states. And our Love Inc., although it is the only one in the metro area right now, is happy to see other Love Incs forming in the Arvada community and the Thornton community, and interest from Parker to Aurora and Broomfield. So we are committed to help Love Incs grow around the country, or around our municipality here. We've been around since 2008 and serve the community in a number of ways. It's all about the neighbors in need. It's all about people in our community that are struggling, whether they're young families or some of the seniors or people who are simply lonely, or in the case of the victims from the 2 fires in the Windermere apartment buildings in 2016 and 2018, Love Inc. brought the churches around to absolutely meet the needs of those that were struggling. And this is done not by our small but mighty staff, about 12 of us. This is done because the small but mighty staff is empowering volunteers, about 355 to be exact, in 2023, from dozens of local churches to work together to do things that none of them can do alone. Simply put, it's the hand up versus the handout. There is a lot of compassion in our community. There's a lot of charity compassion, and we need that. But we truly believe that the churches are the ones that are called to come alongside and walk alongside till there's really a difference made in the lives of those that are in need in our community. And I want to thank you because you are a part of that. So the 3 ways we do this, we call them our 3 pillars of service. The Connection Center, which is a helpline for the community, a resale store, Renewed Treasures, and then Impact, a community of people coming alongside for classes and coaching and stuff. The helpline, the Connection Center, is, if you're familiar with 211 with United Way, that's a great service. They're going to give you the name and number of a place to call. The Connection Center is way more than that. Trained volunteers are answering calls from people in need, and then trained to go through an assessment process. We'll check references. We want to know the person beyond the need that they're calling us about. And then we'll work to refer them and to give them resources that possibly we have, like diapers or furniture or clothing, transportation, navigation, that sort of thing, or things that the churches have or things that the community has. And then we'll follow up. And we'll call back and we'll see, did that work and what's next? The end game, what we hope for, is that we will encourage people that call the Connection Center initially to get involved with other programs that Love Inc. offers, specifically Impact, and I'll get into that in a minute. But it's always fun to tell you about the resale store. Renewed Treasures is located at 6512 South Broadway, and award-winning store. It's best described as a boutique. I heard you talk about ARC, and we love ARC too. In fact, we send all our leftovers to them, but we're very different from ARC, and I think it's a jewel in our community. And not only the fact that there are 80 volunteers that take pride in running that store and almost 2 paid staff, but that there are really treasures to be found. And very, very importantly, when people call the Connection Center and they need clothes or they need household items, then they're given a voucher to go and get those at the store, what they want at no cost. Aside from that, the store also provides 25% of our operating budget. And we're expanding. You guys went to one ribbon cutting, you'll be invited to another, because we've just expanded to the 3rd space, and that won't be ready until probably the end of October. We'll let you know when that ribbon cutting is. And then finally, Impact. So it's about to start up again. There are 3 sessions, or 3, if you will, like trimesters of Impact in a year. The next one starts next Thursday night. And it's all about people that are really ready to make a change in their lives and coming for classes on relationships or dreaming or budgeting or how to manage stress, all of those things. Starts with a community dinner put on by the churches, 100 people every Thursday night. You're welcome to come and stop in for dinner and see what it's about. And then coaching is available and childcare, and we give incentives for people to come and really work at changing their lives. This is Teresa here, who came to us absolutely broken. Her son died at 29 years old. She kind of went off the rails, was incarcerated. She was dealing with addiction and with abuse in her life. And she found the love and support in the community around her at Impact. And there are a lot of Teresas, and you are a part of the story of those Teresas. So I just want to thank you for that. The other thing we'll often say is when we're transforming lives, it's not just Teresa. It's all of those dozens, hundreds of volunteers that are coming alongside, because there's something powerful that happens when a person is helping another. And that's what the community is built upon. So I'd like to just invite you. We have an event coming up. There's no cost to it. It's our fall event, and it is to celebrate the work that's being done, and it will be fun. There'll be jazz music, there'll be a silent auction, there's delicious desserts, and the program's about an hour, and it'll be fun and entertaining. So you all have a packet of probably more information than you can read, but in it is an invitation, and I do hope you'll be able to join us for that. Thank you for the work you do for our community, and thank you for supporting the work that Love Inc. is doing for our community.
Thank you.
I'm happy
Does
to answer any
council have any
questions or
questions?
comments.
Councilmember Ryden?
Thank you so much for the work you do in our community. I've gone to a couple of these events, and the food is really delicious, as is the company, and Impact classes especially. Are there any special services maybe that you guys provide that maybe people wouldn't even always know or realize?
Yeah, thank you. I think the one that is really exciting, and it came about because of the second Windermere fire. Because we came along those people alongside, not to help them move out like the first one, because they all had insurance, but to then help them navigate insurance. So we realize that people face crises every single day, their individual crises. Maybe they need to find a new job, or they need to decide if they're moving to a new state, or they're trying to overcome a reverse mortgage, whatever it may be. We have trained volunteers that are also coaches in the Impact program that will sit down and help people work out those life issues. Some people just don't know where to go, but navigation is a service that is very unique to Love Inc.
Any other questions or comments, council?
Thank you.
Seeing none, thank you so much, and it's great to see the impact that these local partnership grants provide to the community here, so.
We agree. We're grateful for you. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, next up, we have consent agenda. We have 6 tonight. Consent agenda items can be adopted by a simple motion. All ordinances must be read by title prior to a vote on the motion. Any consent agenda item may be removed at the request of a council member. A, Resolution 95, 2024, resolution approving on-call contracts with pre-qualified vendors for underground utilities service. B, Resolution 96, 2024, resolution approving on-call contracts with pre-qualified vendors for structural services. C, Resolution 97 of 2024, a resolution approving on-call contracts with pre-qualified vendors for concrete/asphalt services. D, Resolution 100, 2024, the resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with Platte Canyon Water and Sanitation District for the water main replacement project. E, ID 24-214, motion to approve the minutes of the August 20th, 2024 special meeting of City Council. And F, ID 24-216, a motion to approve the minutes of the August 20th, 2024 regular meeting of City Council.
Mayor, I move to approve consent agenda items A through F.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, all 6 items. Any discussion on consent agenda, council? Seeing none, voting is open.
The vote is 7 in favor. The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you so much. Moving on to general business, we have one item here, ID 24-217, a motion to approve the appointment and contract for Amanda Lessman as presiding municipal court judge. Council, any, would entertain a motion and we can have discussion, if you want it?
Yeah.
Yep. Mayor, I move to approve the appointment and contract for Amanda Lessman as the presiding municipal judge under ID 24-2217.
Second?
We have Tracy, was Tracy going to give a presentation? I didn't know.
I believe she was.
Well,
gonna
we can do that
provide
now.
a Little overview.
I retract my,
No, it's fine. We can leave it out there.
You beat me to it. Well, good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm here before you tonight regarding the appointment of Amanda Lessman as the presiding municipal court judge for the city of Littleton. As you know, Littleton Municipal Court Judge Loretta Huffine announced her intention to retire in May of this year, with September 30th being her last day with us. Upon Judge Huffine's announcement, the city opened a recruitment to begin a search for a qualified candidate to serve as our next presiding municipal court judge. We had a total of 17 applications received, and a pool of 5 candidates were referred to council for consideration. On August 6th, the council met in executive session to discuss municipal court judge candidates. And on August 20th, council met in executive session to interview 4 semifinalists. As a result, Amanda Lessman was recommended to move forward as the finalist for this position. So tonight, staff recommends Amanda Lessman be appointed as the Littleton's next municipal court judge for a 2-year term commencing on September 23rd, 2024.
Well, she took everything I was going to say. Council, does anyone else have anything to say? Councilmember Ryden?
I'm just excited to get to work with you.
Councilmember Driscoll?
Yeah, I'm going to second what Robert said earlier. The process, I thought, was very well done. We had 4 amazing candidates. It was a really tough decision, but I thought Amanda really stood out with just her passion, wanting to grow, being part of the community, even though she's already part of the community. But I'm really excited to have her on board with us.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, and I also just want to say, with Judge Huffine, you know, we deeply appreciate all the work that she has put into the city, even before she was our presiding judge. She has been with us for a long time, and honestly wish her the best and everything well into her future. You know, I think she's given our community an awful lot, and so I just want to, you know, show my heartfelt appreciation for her work as well.
And I'll just add that it's interesting going through the municipal judge search process, because that's the one direct appointee that council has minimal interaction with. We interact with the city manager and city attorney regularly, sometimes more often than we would like, but you know, you can't win them all. But the municipal judge is, you know, obviously with separation of powers, you know, having the legislative branch different from the judicial branch there. So it's a bit awkward to have to make the appointment of the municipal judge, but it was great to sit through those interviews and talk to everyone and see how many qualified candidates there were, and how Amanda, you know, kind of really spoke to all of us, you know, not just as a judge, but as a person, and wanted to really lead the community here. And I think that's going to be a great fit here for have her move forward. So I'm going to support this motion here tonight. So, anyone else have anything else to say? Great. I will try to open up the voting. We have a motion and a second to approve the contract and appointment. It's open.
The vote is 7 in favor. The motion carries unanimously.
All right. Well, and as is required by our city charter, the city clerk will swear in Judge Lessman.
Okay, I'm going to have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Amanda Lessman,
I, Amanda Lessman,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
to support the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
to support the Constitution of the State of Colorado,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Charter and the ordinances of the City of Littleton,
and the Charter and the ordinances of the City of Littleton,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of municipal court judge
and I will faithfully perform the duties of municipal court judge
upon which I will enter effective September 23rd, 2024.
Upon which I will enter effectively September 23rd, 2024.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll have you sign. Thank you. Welcome to the city.
Thank you very much.
And if you want to stay.
You can set off your poppers or air horns now.
All right. Mandy?
Thank you. Mayor, City Council, I just want to thank you all for this opportunity to serve Littleton in this role. To the citizens of Littleton, I just want to let you know that I'm very excited to work in a courtroom where we will foster approachability, efficiency, and fairness to everybody that will appear in front of me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, item 10 on the agenda, ordinances on second reading and public hearings. There are none tonight. Item 11 on the agenda is a motion to adjourn into an executive session. However, apparently Chief Stevens is unable to make it tonight. And if there is no objection, I would say we move to postpone to a future date unconfirmed as of yet. No objections, and it's approved without objection. And with that, we're adjourned. And I think this beat your record last time, Robert, when you said yes.